Have you noticed what we're doing? Moving in and out of tired old rooms. A daily maze of agreements made to stay small. What if we could redefine, redesign? What if there's an architect inside, simply waiting for the word to build a bigger world? In a little world, there's still a way to climb up to the sun. Into this bigger world we'll rise, everyone with eyes to see and a memory of love. Out of this world we come. We're all taking cover with this flimsy cardboard armor, and every day has become this twisted Halloween where we pretend to be little people hiding and why. In a little world there's still a way to climb up to the sun. To this bigger world we'll rise, everyone with eyes to see and a memory of love. Out of this world we come. I am here. It is the I am field. Available to inform. It is as simple as this. This field has always been present, but this is the key. Human beings, for the most part, have not been present to access this field. All that is changing can be boiled down to this picture, this understanding that in these times, in your coming weeks, months, and years, all of you, in your individual consciousness, and therefore a growing collective consciousness, will be brought to the center, the present, the knowing place. There will be a variety of responses or reactions from the egoic level of your consciousness, the primary level of consciousness that you have been utilizing. This is what is changing. Resistance to your natural state will appear in the forms of resistance from anxiety, mild anxiety, to insanity, as you would name it, although from our perspective, you have been living within insanity, and sanity is soon to be restored, but we do understand that it feels like, and a human being would perceive sanity as insanity, for it is foreign and larger than what you have invited into your everyday perceptions in the past. Time and space primarily has been your structure. When time and space evaporates, what is remaining to structure or relate your lives to? The more one has stepped off of or away from this time-space foundation and rooted into what is real and true. Now, some would argue, we do understand, some would argue that time and space is the most real structure, framing for your lives on earth. And it is this perception that will be greatly challenged in these coming times. This will be an accelerated time period that you are entering, in which to make this transition into present moment consciousness. Now, Mother Earth will be continuing to move through changes. As simply as we can put this, your electromagnetic frequencies are rapidly changing due to the fact that humanity's collective consciousness is accepting and receiving and embodying more of their own magnetic being, which is more reflective of your natural state. It is the magnetics that has been cordoned off by agreement in your collective consciousness. Now, some refer to this as the feminine, the divine feminine, the sacred feminine, the goddess, the Venus transits, and so on. For the most part, you are on the right track with these perceptions. And as always, we encourage you to move away from existing definitions and symbols, for these will be transforming as your consciousness transforms. You will not be able to hang on to your old, outdated time-space references, symbols, personas, definitions. The more that you are able to tune into this magnetic frequency, the more you will have access to what you need to know in these highly transformative times. What we have been encouraging the channel to do is to practice the feeling exercises, the ability to locate this magnetic frequency in shorter and shorter periods of time as you know it. Soon, when practiced, identifying the frequency and embodying it, soon there will be absolutely no need for time-space frameworks. For you will be embodying that field of magnetic that interacts with the electric portions of your being and weaves back into place a strength and solidity for the human being to continue on earth as it is in heaven. Heaven, in this case, meaning this field that you will have access to. The more that you practice, as we have said, in identifying this frequency, the more balanced you will remain throughout this reactionary time for human consciousness. The fears will be seen in a variety of ways, in the ways that you witness and report. Know that when you hear of radical reactions, it is human consciousness hanging on to the past and allowing fear to take control or inhibit or prevent the full transformation and return to balance, a return to the truth. More simply said, when you hear of your news, of people going crazy, as you say, or losing their minds, or becoming violent, it is fear. Understand it as fear, and do not react to it in a fearful way. For then you enter into and participate in what you have termed mass hysteria. This is why it is so important for human beings to practice feeling and identifying frequency. Those in these times who have been touched by this magnetic frequency that is being named by many names, depending on the conditioning of each individual human being. It is named love, it is named God, it is named Christ, it is named angels, it is named the universe. All of these are applicable. They are names, they are symbols that stand for frequency. Your consciousness is adapting to a frequency understanding, a frequency knowing, frequency information way of being. Now understand, this is not new for humanity. And yet it is a renewal of these parts of your consciousness. How does one re-identify and welcome these frequencies? It does take courage to turn in the direction of accepting, acknowledging that this is happening. And then entering into a dialogue with your own heart consciousness that connects through this field of heart magnetic consciousness. You strengthen individually from this practice, thereby strengthening those around you and encouraging those around you to step into this field as well. This is the healing work, or any healing work that encourages one and guides one to feeling everything, acknowledging it, asking for help, being willing to transform fear, to identify it as a mechanism or a disease created by a closed universe framework, a universe that disconnected from this field of magnetic and feminine. It is not important at this time to explore history, why the choices were made, why you collectively created this. It is unimportant at this stage. When you reach these critical moments in transformation, you do not have the bandwidth, let us say, to continue to surf the internet and find details and collect details and scraps of paper, if you will. You do not have the bandwidth for this. It is closing in. The mind itself, the intellect that is a product of this closed system, will move through stages of fear and denial, grief, etc. Until it is able to let go of the false foundation in reality, the reality that you have created, and step onto this platform of universal love that is balanced. Get used to this magnetic frequency as much as possible. Now, for some of you, it will all remain words and symbols, words as symbols for feeling. For you have not been given permission to feel so much in your lives. And there is not the time, or as we said, bandwidth, for you to dig deep and explore. Perhaps it was when my mother said this or when my father did that. These days are gone. In actuality, that was a meandering approach to reaching the place of healing, letting go, grieving, and allowing space for more of the heart consciousness to be present. You see, that is what it all boils down to. It is being available in present moment consciousness to access this field, this magnetic field. If it is cluttered, if you are looping in consciousness only in the intellect and this closed universe model of where you get your information from, where you make your decisions from the limited choices that you see, understand that this has all been distraction from ultimately stepping into this present moment place. It really is not complicated. We are providing pictures for you. This vertical as well as horizontal, full circle, 360 degrees, access to the field. The clutter that has stood in the way will be dissolving. And it will dissolve on all levels. From your own individual consciousness, your own relationship to your own heart, to your family, your friends, your cities, your states, your regions, countries. It is transforming. So, back to the individual. The more that you give attention to feeling and frequency, thereby identifying, renewing your identification with this magnetic feeling, the easier this transition will be. Of course, all of your systems will change as a result of your own consciousness change. When you are accessing this field of love, your creations will be built from this foundation of love. It is as simple as that. Everything else will fall away. We have been speaking of this for several years now. Although now we are at the threshold, 0 point, as you say. Will it all happen at once? It will seem like this for some. For it depends on the lens that you are viewing through. The heart lens has a different view. The open expanse, more of a universal connection, will offer you a different and more benevolent view, more holistic view than the view of your closed system, obviously. So find this frequency. Sit with those who are able to broadcast it to help you find it. Music, sound. Look at the different forms of assistance that could come into being based on your modalities with frequency. Now, it is still important that individual humans work with their emotions, their feelings. Validation of feelings is important for those who have found footing in this re-identification with this resonant magnetic frequency. If you are inspired, it is helpful. For those who do not find it as easy to access this feeling realm, if you are there to assist, it will move more rapidly for them, if they are open. You will find creative ways in which to help each other find this frequency. From our perspective, we are here to assist in broadcasting this frequency, not only through this human, but through a variety of others. Now, understand, it will not always look like you expect it to look. It may come through a singer. It may come through an energetic healer. It may come through a doctor. It may come through a fellow construction worker. It may come through one who sits in the next cubicle over. There are many, many, many of you who have re-identified enough to be able to assist others, to stay calm, to stay balanced, and let them know that it is all right, that they are going to be all right. Feel all the feelings, essentially, that cover over, as well as all of the shreds of mental information that covers over this opening into the the magnetic field of love, universal love. Some of it is all cluttered and mixed up together, and that is all right. Feeling, identifying what you are feeling, acknowledging it, have it validated. And if there is no one in your life, no other human being to validate, understand that there is an angelic realm. There are those beings who are not in form on your planet who do assist. So ask for help. Ask for this validation to come. And it will come. It will match your level of sincerity and willingness to show up in the present moment. We guarantee this, by the way. It will directly match your willingness. It is exciting and beautiful to witness from our point of view, and also from the point of view of those who are in resonant communion, connection with them, with those that are vibrating here already. We are community in its truest sense, communing with you in this field. So, once again, we encourage you to let go of all of the identification with the way things have always been. Identifying with the pain that you carry, identifying with it long enough to feel it, acknowledge it, validate it, and let it go, so that you may be open to join this universal sea consciously. We love you. We are in love with you, literally. Find it and be it. And celebrate this joy. Soon you will discover your capacities, what you are capable of, what you are capable of creating with each other. And with the rest of the field. Teamwork. Until the next present moment timing, we broadcast love. Always. Find it. Be it. Now. Good day.
Stop the running, start becoming.